Due to my everyday use of online formats, I decided to present my work on a digital format that would enable me to embed, link, and import my work on an online blogging format called Weebly.com. This was a good decision as I had previously experience of this online site through using it in my foundation portfolio, so I was familiar with the interface of the site. This website allowed me to construct my portfolio through the use of intertextuality, meaning that I could consistently present my work in a structured and cohesive way. Weebly.com has many blogging tools that permit me to upload my work in a simple and organised manner in terms of the layout and presentation. Evidently, in my research and planning stages on my project, I directly embedded my work and imported documents onto the page, enabling me to demonstrate differentiation within my use of online formats, as I could incorporate a variety of sites, videos, images, and text onto my blog page to present my work. For example, I was able to hyperlink the button tool on Weebly to create a more interactive way that the viewer of my blog could use when identifying the neo-noir conventions, as when clicking on the button, it sent you to an image that portrayed the convention. I further embedded video clips of neo-noir trailers from YouTube through the use of the embed tool on Weebly.com, along with an analysis of the trailer that was shown underneath the video. I used two different online platforms for this, as I use Microsoft PowerPoint and eMaze.com to create a livelier and interactive method of presenting my work. Although this is not necessarily demonstrated on my blog, one of the main online websites I used in my project, in particular for my research stage, was imdb.com. This website is the Internet Movie Database and is the largest film database site online. It permits users to access information about all films, and by utilising this site, I was able to find out more information about the films that are placed in the neo-noir genre. This further influenced me to choose the main three films that I focused on throughout my research, which were Drive, Shutter Island, and The Girl on the Train, whilst having the ability to branch out and look at aspects of other neo-noir films, such as The Departed, The Nightcrawler, and The Gone Girl. This proved to be a crucial website also when researching into various directors and producers of neo-noir films, as this was an aspect that provided me with vital information that gave me my initial starting point for what relevant directors and producers I could research into that were linked to the neo-noir genre. IMDb.com proved to be a further vital element, enabling me to access secondary data about the socio-demographics of the neo-noir films. This gave me a clear idea about the gender and age category that my neo-noir film could either conform to or defy, and was further supported by my primary research into audiences. It suggested to me that the primary audience for neo-noir films was males around the age of 18 to 25. My primary research into audiences certainly enabled me to demonstrate technological convergence and connectivity as two vital aspects of this online project. For example, I constructed an interactive survey on SurveyMonkey.com that was sent out on different platforms such as emails, WhatsApps, iMessage, and social media platforms like Twitter. This meant that I could generate a wider perspective due to my survey reaching a wider audience, and so meant that it was not just my peer group that answered other questions. The use of cross-media convergence further demonstrates conveniency within my audience research, as through the use of any of these platforms that I sent the links to the survey out on, it could be easily accessed on any device, and most commonly the mobile phone. This allowed for more detailed responses as it caused little problem for the user to complete due to the conveniency that the online platform provided them through simply using the survey link. This proved to be evidently more valuable as I progressed through the project and continued to use SurveyMonkey and SurveyNotes as a way of reaching my target audience. And due to my target audience being around 18 to 25, the use of a mobile phone meant that they could complete the survey quickly, enabling me to progress in my project and develop a clear target audience for my film. Another platform that I synergized with on my blog was Google Maps. Google Maps is an online mapping system that allows its users to have a clearer idea of a location and efficiently navigate themselves around certain areas. This proved to be a crucial aspect in the choosing of my location when shooting the exterior shots, as I wanted a park that had a large open area with some elements of a forest that I could utilise when shooting the murder scene of the girl lying on the ground to add an element of mystery. Another essential part was the use of a lake to portray the water reflection convention in my trailer. Therefore, utilising the satellite system that was featured on Google Maps, I was able to get a detailed image of the surroundings of the park, as the park had an open space, forest and a lake, as I felt this was the best location for my trailer. I was able to compare the various locations on this online format, as when looking into other local parks, such as Bruntwood Park, I was able to quickly identify that this would not be the only location I was shooting, as it lacked the water element that was an important aspect of my narrative. This shows how my use of online geographical websites like Google Maps enabled me to efficiently scout out locations that would be appropriate for my trailer without having spent extra time going to look at the location in real life, as the online format offered a quicker and more effective method. The use of connectivity that a mobile phone provides proved to be another crucial aspect when connecting to the other people that were involved in my film. As my filmmaking was a joint project, the mobile phone allowed me to stay in constant contact with the other filmmaker, as we could easily access each other digitally to organise times and dates in which we were free to shoot in. Although I made a call sheet, I used the mobile phone to quickly ask my actors when they were free through the use of cross-media convergence, as I created a WhatsApp group chat that enabled me to have a platform that reached all the participants quickly and efficiently on. This meant that all the information on the film could be invested and discussed on one device, demonstrating how my entire project was completely digitalised, as even the communication between my cast was through a digital format. Throughout my entire portfolio, I have utilised many digital formats in order to display my work. Advancing on from my foundation portfolio, I had a basic but clear understanding of the different formats I could integrate onto my blog. These were websites that I used again in my advanced portfolio, such as Prezi, Emaze, Microsoft Word and Microsoft PowerPoint, as well as Premiere Pro, which I used in my evaluation during my foundation year. Furthering on from this, I decided to venture out further from these presentation formats and decided to use more visual presentation formats that would enable me to achieve an aesthetically pleasing presentation of my research, planning, construction process and my evaluations. For example, during my research and planning stages, I used sites such as Bubble.us, Pictochart, Keynote, Pages, Genially, Poplet, Visme and Canva. These were all new web methods in which I used to demonstrate my work and allow me to present it in a much more visual way for the reader to use. The use of sites like BubbleMe permitted me to show a variety of ideas in the format of an online mind map. This evidently shows how the platform clearly heightens how my use of online technologies play a key role. As before, I would have typically constructed my mind map in a more tangible manner, as I would have drawn it on paper and uploaded it onto a web page through the use of scanning it into a computer or putting up a picture. However, now I was able to seamlessly alternate between online websites through easily converging the two websites together. This epitomises how the online formats and devices that were available for me to use encouraged my even overuse of online formats compared to the less digitalised one I might have previously used. Other presentation sites that I use like Canva, Genially and Visme meant that I could have a greater variety of platforms that I could use and place on my blog, heightening the amount of cross-media convergence that is evidently throughout my research and planning stages of my production. Furthermore, I advanced this use of online technologies further when I completed my first evaluation question, as this was an evaluation that I created on a website called Wix.com. Wix is an online blogging format that enables its users to have access to a clear and concise structure throughout all pages of their website. I use the site as a method of further converging all my previously used presentation formats onto another platform to show the range in which these online websites can be accessed by a user. Similar to Weebly, the site provided a digital format in which I could hyperlink the different presentation formats I had used through the use of the button tool. I was able to hyperlink the text, which gave the reader more coherency as they read through the blog. I was able to add images and text like I can on Weebly, but did this in a more consistent and replicable manner, as the site allowed me to add a page section, providing me with the tools to replicate and develop previously used sections that had the same style of my blog, and so that it remained consistent throughout. I used Photoshop as it was a clear choice when deciding what software to use when constructing my raw images, as it was a professional layout of the tools which are easily accessible. By using the tools in Photoshop to edit my ancillary text, I was able to construct an image that had a more conventional appearance due to the visual effects I could adapt within the image. For example, in my film poster I used the Levels tool to manipulate the brightness and contrast of each image so that it gave me a more professional and sharp look, whilst also conforming to the visuals of a conventional film poster. This proved to be an essential when I overlaid the images, as the red lips of my female protagonist remained a visually dominant feature of my film poster. Furthermore, Photoshop proves to be an important decision when converging my two raw images together, as the use of the opacity tool meant that I could maintain both the quality and clearness of the image whilst making the female's face appear a more passive feature on the poster. This meant that I could further retain the idea of a three-dimensional image on my poster while incorporating two completely different images together. I also used Photoshop when incorporating the chiaroscuro lighting convention onto my magazine, as I felt that my raw image didn't capture the convention to its full extent. Therefore, Photoshop gave me the platform to exaggerate the shadow and create a distinct link between my image and the neo-noir convention. This was achieved using the Magic Lasso tool and the different levels of contrast and brightness between the background and the shadow. InDesign further enabled me to maneuver seamlessly from Photoshop to InDesign, as they are both part of the same interface, which meant I could easily apply similar skills to both platforms. InDesign, however, allowed me to easily move different elements that made up my film poster and magazine, as it gave me more structure to my construction, as I could keep my image and masthead as the key focus in my magazine cover, as I was able to easily place other text around the image, which allowed me for a more organised design due to the use of the text wrap tool. This was achieved through the use of a variety of layers that InDesign permits you to create, whilst adding in clear guidelines that allowed you to create a more professional product. Unlike Photoshop, it is done much more efficiently and effectively, as InDesign enables you to move from each layer and each aspect of your construction effortlessly and professionally. Premiere Pro was another clear choice for the construction of my movie trailer. I have previously used this format before in my foundation portfolio evaluation stages, and so felt I could utilise my pre-existing skills as I was already familiar with the clear interface of the format. I was able to manipulate the colour of the shots I had captured on this platform to create a more fitting film trailer referring to the unsaturated colours, which linked in very nicely with the modernised neo-noir genre, such as Gone Girl. By doing this, it allowed for a more convincing production, which was an essential aspect to consider, as I needed my trailer to obtain much professionalism in order for it to have a positive reception amongst the consumer of the product. Premiere Pro also gave me a platform that enabled me to have access to all video clips I wanted to use, while shortening them or using the clipping tool to only show the certain aspects of the shot that I needed. This enabled me to utilise the online format to have quick and efficient access to all clips that I could seamlessly drag into the final composition of my media trailer. Using After Effects was a new platform I had not used before, but felt that my experience from Premiere Pro facilitated me to use similar skills and knowledge that I had already had and apply them to this platform. This software was the basis in which I created all my added titles, like my production company name credit, the title of my film, the end credits, and the date of release that appeared in my trailer, as the platform allowed me to add certain effects that I would not have been able to use otherwise on other software as easily. I used the Behaviours tool on After Effects to create a more professional-looking trailer when the titles appeared, and I wanted them to include some type of movement of effect, rather than remaining static, as I felt this brought the quality of my overall trailer down due to the simplicity. The behaviour effect, such as box, was used on my date of release and epitomises the way in which I wanted to utilise this software, as I could incorporate various colours and movements that maintained my house style throughout, whilst creating a more professional title.